heard the president say over and over again that he has never spoken to his son about his business dealings. Has he ever spoken to his son's business partners about his son's business dealings?
Again, nothing has changed about what I said yesterday. The president does not get involved in the business dealings of his son.
Even through his son's business partners?
Nothing has changed since what I said yesterday.
Okay.
Well, there you go. The White House doubling down on the comment that President Biden was in the dark about his son's business dealings. This as House Republicans press Hunter Biden's business partner, Eric Schwerin, to share all of the records related to the president. The request following reports that Schwerin, who was president of Hunter Biden's Rosemont Seneca, visited the White House at least 27 times during the Obama-Biden administration, while Joe Biden was vice president. Tammy, do they think this is actually being believed, given the fact that Hunter Biden was on Air Force Two with Vice President Joe Biden? Why would he be on Air Force Two when Joe Biden was going to China?
Yes, and also, why would the meetings need to be at the White House? Is Hunter Biden a statue somewhere in the portico there, next to the Oval Office? Right? Why would you need to go to the White House if Joe Biden? This is during the Obama-Biden presidency. Why there? If Joe Biden had no interest, you can easily kind of weave yourself into a room, even though you're not on the list of who the meeting is with. But of course, this is what the Democrats do. The word lie is not used very often, but they're lying. They've lied about a lot of things. They've lied about COVID. They still today, to this day, tell us that the border is closed. They tell us to. The things they tell us show you that their connection with reality is there's a complete disconnect. Plus, they also have no respect for the American people. They have contempt for us. So, what Jen Psaki, she was right in one part. What she said that day was not different than what she said the day before, but that doesn't mean it's true. And this is what Americans are upset about, that there's not only no transparency, but there's deliberate lies about what's going on, and it's because they don't care. They don't think there's going to be any repercussions. But you've got millions of dollars of unknown income for Joe Biden. You've got all of this kind of a difficult dynamic of a series of things that make no sense. And they continue to tell us that the sky is green.
Yeah. I mean, Liz, this is a really important story. We understand the Biden family has taken in at least $31 million from Chinese officials. That in and of itself, China is the #1 adversary of the country. I mean, influence peddling is a serious issue from the commander-in-chief's family. How do you see it?
It's a serious issue, Maria, and they're just playing for time here. If the Republicans take over the House, you can be sure there are going to be some pretty serious investigations into what appears to be a decade or more of commingling of funds between Hunter and his father. We've seen so many reports now of checks going back and forth, Hunter complaining about paying his father's bills, Joe Biden paying the law fees for Hunter Biden. None of that stuff is illegal necessarily, but it should be reported, by the way, on taxes. You can't just give someone hundreds of thousands of dollars. There is a limit to what you can give away. So I think there's an awful lot of grist for the mill here. We also have Tony Bobulinski and others, swearing to the fact that they have been in business meetings with Joe Biden talking about Hunter Biden's business. So it's all baloney, and it's going to come out. I think they're just stalling in hopes that it'll happen after Joe Biden's left office.
Yeah, so, I mean, is that the reason we can't have a real investigation into the origins of COVID, that China won't allow investigators in there, and the president says, okay, I mean, it's a fair question, given all the money he's taken in. We're going to keep a spotlight on it, and we'll be right back.